everybody, Abby Hudak here again, and today I'm actually going to be making some chocolate protein banana muffins. I'm super excited to give this a try. I tried like mini muffins before and they were super good, so I'm hoping these banana muffins will make a killer breakfast. I am going to add something to the recipe than the one I got online. I'm going to add a little bit of chocolate chips. I am using dairy-filled chocolate chips because I don't have any dairy-free in my house and I want chocolate chips in it. Just because as I'm weaning into this protein lifestyle, it's much easier for me to enjoy these if I have some chocolate in, and plus who doesn't like some chocolate? For the most part, I am following the 30-day to healthy living guide. The only thing that I'm really mixing up is I've been adding chocolate chips into my baked goods just to wean myself into these types of foods. I've been cutting out coffee, gluten, soy, artificial sweeteners, and things like that. So the only thing I'm really kind of cheating on is I'm throwing some chocolate chips in it, especially so my family enjoys them as well. So the first thing I'm going to do is start with the wet ingredients, and then I'll go to the dry ingredients. I have my oven preheated at 350, and I have the cupcake wrappers in the cupcake tins. I use the Arbonne green ones because I love Arbonne, obviously. It also says to get ripe bananas. I got regular bananas, and I threw them in a bag. Kept them in my microwave. I didn't turn the microwave on, but it was sealed, and I let them kind of ripening themselves over. So what I'm going to start with is 3 eggs. I like to crack them in a separate thing just to make sure that everything's okay. There's no 2 yolks. There's no weird things, no shells, anything like that. So we're going to start with 3 eggs. I have 1 teaspoon of vanilla in here and 2 teaspoons of agave nectar. So agave nectar is going to make up for no sugar in the recipe. It's a lot healthier of a choice, and it's super good. I've actually been tossing between agave and honey on my smoothie bowls. I'll do a video for my protein smoothie bowls. As soon as I get my new thing in, I really want to try it with the strawberry protein. Next, it says to add your bananas. So I'm going to add the bananas to the wet ingredients because they are a lot more wet than dry. I'm going to then mix the ingredients together and then add the dry together. So I'm just going to break the bananas up just so that they do a little bit better in the mixing. It's a little easier. They are ripe, as you can tell. They could be a little riper, but I mean, go with what you can do. Last one. All right. So I'm going to add my mixing unit in, drop it down, and we're going to give this a mix. So while that's mixing, I can tell you what dry ingredients I included. The dry ingredients I have are almond flour, so that's a gluten-free base flour. You'd use any kind of flour. I think the almond flour really has a nice taste. I also really like the brand called Cup for Cup. I actually have celiac disease, so I've been baking with Cup for Cup for quite some time now, and it's real easy. You just convert it equal. So if it says 1 cup of flour, you replace it with 1 cup of 1 cup for cup. I also have 2 scoops of chocolate protein. I was thinking about using my marble cake protein, but the recipe said chocolate, so I stuck with chocolate. I have baking soda, baking powder, and then I'm going to throw some chocolate chips in. So this is getting pretty smooth. The banana's chunked up real quick. I started on a lower cycle, just so that the bananas didn't spit up, even though it kind of did anyways. So I'm going to keep it locked, actually, and I'm going to turn it on low, and I'm going to add the dry ingredients. I'm going to start with some chocolate protein. 2 scoops of this. That's the serving of protein if you're going to make a shake or if you're going to make any other baked good with it. That's the serving they recommend. Next, I'm going to add 2 cups of almond flour. Or I'm sorry, 1 cup of almond flour. So it's 1 cup almond flour, 2 scoops chocolate protein. Then I'm going to add a teaspoon of baking soda, a teaspoon of baking powder, and a dash of salt. I'm going to turn this up for a second just to get it really mixed. I like to go in there with the spatula then just to make sure that it's all mixing right. It's all equally incorporated. You don't want any protein or flour chunks in your batter. You also don't want any like big blobs of bananas where it's not going to, bake correctly. This is a more chunkier batter just because all the bananas and stuff in it, but it's going to be super good, super moist. And then after I mix it like this with the machine, that is when I'll be adding the chocolate chips. So you want to make sure that it's incorporated properly, and then you add the chocolate chips. You add the chocolate chips in late because then they don't sink to the bottom. And you don't want a bottom of chocolate. You want them incorporated equally. Feel free to add dairy chocolate chips again. You also don't need to add chocolate chips at all. Like, don't forget that I just added those on my own because I love chocolate. So I just have a little bit of mini chocolate chips left, so that's what I'm going to bake with. You can tell it's probably about maybe a quarter cup. I like the mini ones because they're better. I know I'm breaking my diet doing this, but I want my whole family to enjoy these. So I figured this will be one way that it's not so unattractive to them. Every time I tell them I'm making a protein baked good, they're like, ew, I don't want to try it. So if I tell them I made chocolate chip banana bread, you don't even taste the protein in it. They're a lot more receptive to it. Alright, so it's all incorporated. And next what we're going to do is put it into our cups, and then we're going to throw it in the oven. So my next step is to put the cupcake batter into the cupcake papers. Make sure you don't fill them all the way. I know it's baking 101. Just fill it 3/4 because they are going to rise and they're going to be delicious. This is the messy part. One thing I really love about Arbonne is they have so many recipes, even on the website, which makes it so fun because it's super easy to try different things. I've tried chocolate protein muffins. I have tried smoothie bowls. I have tried, what else? Well, now I'm doing banana bread. But there's so many other things. There's protein balls. There's peanut butter cups, just like Reese's, but instead it's, all natural, vegan, soy-free, dairy-free, gluten-free. So it's really up to your preference of what kind of food you like and what you're in the mood for. So say it's coming up to Valentine's Day, and you and your significant other are following the 30 days, don't feel like you can't have chocolate. Just make your own chocolate cups and get some silicone molds and make them in hearts or spell something out. If it's summer, they actually have fizz and protein fruit bars, so you can freeze those up, take them out by the pool. You'll be energized and you'll have your protein for the day. I also have been checking out fizz cocktail recipes, Moscow mules, margaritas, and different things like that. That way you're getting a little fun in it while staying, caffeinated and enjoying yourself. Avoiding coffee is so good because the acidity. So if you can avoid coffee and replace it with fizz, it'll change your life. I haven't had coffee for 2 weeks, and I can tell you my life's already changed. I feel better. I'm sleeping better. The fizz is keeping me up, though. I'm working nights, and I don't struggle. Once the fizz is in me, I am not sleepy. I'm not missing the coffee. Nothing like that. Same with my old Red Bull addiction. So I made 12 big muffins. It probably would make 24 or 36 small ones. I made sure to fill these up good because, like I said, I want to make them for breakfast. So I'm putting them in the oven at 350 for about 12 minutes, and then I'll be back. So my muffins are out of the oven, and I'm ready to try them. They're cooled off, and they look super good. There's chunks of banana in there, lots of chocolate. I'm so excited. All right. The moment of truth. Oh my God. They're moist but fluffy. Great with some almond milk. Delicious. You don't taste the protein at all. Highly recommend these. Out of this world. Seriously.